my top NBA 2023-2024 storylines are as follows. But before we talk about the storylines, I got to give y'all one, the criteria, and then two, well, the tiers, right? Because it's always levels to this. It's always levels to this. So for starters, we have my top storylines, like the top five, all right? That's the top tier. Then you got the entertaining ones, okay? That's that next five. And then finally, of course, the honorable mentions. And again, these are the storylines, the top storylines that at least I'll be covering for 2023 and 2024. Will there be some anomalies? Yes. Will there be some ones that I talk about also? Sure. But these are the ones that I'm focusing on. So I hope you all are ready because we're about to talk about the criteria and y'all know how that goes. So my first point for the criteria, it's got to hit, well, the masses. If these storylines are not going to be able to captivate you, like, why would it really matter? Like it's got to be entertaining. And speaking of entertaining as well, it's also got to be entertaining, not just to the casual fans, but the basketball fans. Those basketball fans who, like myself, follow the draft, follow the free agency, follow the contracts, hell, even read documentation like that you don't really care to so much. Like, come on now. So if it's hitting both of those two entities, well, we good. So I gave y'all the listing, the tiers, and then I gave y'all the criteria. So now we got to go ahead and kick off this year's top NBA storylines, at least for my show. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, we are here at the entertaining segment of the listings. All right. And when I say this, the rest of all these topics are entertaining. Okay. But I gotta say, these are particularly entertaining for me. So with that being said, we got to start it off. Matter of fact, let's go in reverse order this time. So we got to talk about here the 76ers. And for starters, when I say this, these teams can win the title. Just a little question mark because of these storylines. That's why I say they entertain it. So the 76ers here, right? Well, we got Joel Embiid. He's cool with the reigning MVP. Tyrese Maxey looks to have a good season. Well, James Harden seems to be trouble yet again. And, well, initially he was saying he doesn't want to play for Daryl Morey. Now he wants to play for the 76ers, but he only got one more season. So why not play for one more season? I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think that's going to be a big problem for the rest of this season until he is traded. And it's sad because, well, I mean, you could have actually made it work, Philly, if James Harden was, one, a slightly better defender, and then two, willing to play for the 76ers. Because you did end up getting more help this season with Kelly Oubre. So I think that would have been nice to see. But, we're here now. It is what it is. Also, I'm curious to see what in the world is James Harden's trade value. Because I don't think the 76ers will get the fair value that they're looking for. It's unfortunate. It really is. Because, again, he's an all-NBA caliber player. And you might have to settle for a starter and like some scrubs. Yeah, scrubs. Because, against us, they might dog walk us, right? But scrubs in the NBA. So that's unfortunate. But it's entertaining because you're still going to have a competing 76ers team. And will James Harden play? Will James Harden not play? Will that lead to his trade value going up or down? Like, we'll see how it goes. Because, again, he only has one more season to play under contract with these 76ers. Should be interesting to follow. And then, well, finally, will Embiid stay engaged? I don't know. Will Maxey stay focused and keep progressing? How will Tobias Harris actually perform? Like, that's what I'm curious about. Will Tobias Harris now be overly utilized? Because the role that Toby was in, I love that. And maybe Maxey can be that number 2 and Toby can be number 3 and Kelly can be number 4 and then Toby and Kelly can interchange. But now it's starting to get a little tricky. It's a lot of moving parts now. So that's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be focusing on as well with the 76ers. Because, again, those 4 players should be quite integral in the 76ers success this season. But they got to see what happens with this whole James Harden situation. That's why I say it's entertaining for me. They could go from contenders to pretenders in a matter of seconds. So we'll see what shakes. We'll see what happens with the 76ers, ladies and gentlemen. But now we got to talk about the Pelicans. All right. The Pelicans, they've had some offseason stories, but I think the main storyline is Zion's health, right? If the brother is healthy, are we really going to be talking about the Pelicans outside the playoffs? We've seen them in the hunt for the top spot before, quite often. So I wholeheartedly expect that to be a key storyline because, well, when Zion's playing, like I say, he gives you about 27, 28 a game with about 8 rebounds, 4 assists, blocking the steal, something slight. Like that ain't bad at all. And well, factoring in someone like Brandon Ingram as well, can he be healthy? And can he also play up to his capabilities? Like I need to see all NBA caliber Brandon Ingram, not just all-star Brandon Ingram. But that's what's really going to set this Pelicans team over the edge. But again, those two storylines are key for me. Not CJ McCollum, not Trey Murphy Jr., not any looming trades unless it's involving these two. Because these two are the heads of the snake. All right. So again, the health hasn't been there in the past. It hasn't. And I hate it too because they Duke boys. You know I love my Duke fellas. But that's going to be focused on throughout the year. Because if they're healthy, they're going to be around the top. And if they're not healthy, they're going to be middle of the pack. But we'll see how that goes. Like I said, we'll be focusing on it all throughout the season. Now, we're going to have to talk about the Kings, the Sacramento Kings. This is an entertaining storyline for me because last season, a lot of people were talking about how the Kings weren't worth much. Oh, they haven't been to the playoffs since 2006, 2007, blah, 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 blah. Well, they made it to the playoffs. And they're looking to return, but they're also looking to elevate, not just on the defensive end. They were one of the top teams offensively, but defensively, they did leave a lot to be desired. So I'm looking at the following storylines. De'Aaron Fox, will he play at an MVP season? Like, I'm curious because when you look at it, this team hasn't had too much turnover. You got Sabonis returning, Keegan Murray returning, Harrison Barnes returning, Malik Monk returning, Kevin Huerter returning. Outside of Sabonis, unless Keegan Murray takes a big jump, I think you can look at De'Aaron Fox as the lead dog. And he's got to get the MVP considerations. And I do expect De'Aaron Fox to take us another small leap because, he is a quality player and timing is everything. And right now his prime years are starting to hit and he's developed a jump shot. He was Mr. Clutch last year. The brother can score. He's quick. Like what he can pass, like he can defend. I expect him to take another jump. A little one, not a big one, a little one. So can he play MVP season, a level this season? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. Then also players like Domantas Sabonis. Hey, I'm not expecting you to be a defensive anchor, but can you be a Pau Gasol-esque power forward? Because Pau Gasol was hitting me that mid-range, and I ain't really too confident about Domantas Sabonis. Like, brother, I put you down for 10 to 15 points a game, and I should be putting you down for 15 to 20 points a game. And I'm talking about on FanDuel when I smartly and maturely place money on bets. But I need to see that increase for you. So I'd like to see 15 to 20 a game consistently, but then also extend your shooting range just a little bit. I'm not talking about chucking threes, but extending the range a little bit because De'Aaron Fox will need a little help. And finally, Keegan Murray. I do want to see if you can take another jump. I know you can shoot the ball well, but this team is going to need a lockdown defender. And you're pegged to be the guy. Like amongst wings, you're going to be that guy. So that's the storyline why I say the Kings are going to be entertaining. Because if a couple of those do happen, ladies and gentlemen, we could be talking about the Kings in the Western Conference Finals, and that's wild to say. But them boys can hoop. So if a few of those things go true, we might be talking about the Kings in the finals. West Conference Finals. Sorry about that. Now we got to talk about here the Mavericks, the Dallas Mavericks. Look, I don't know how else to say this. We're just going to be looking to see how well Luka and Kyrie dominate, how well that duo pairs. Because when you look down the rest of the roster, who else they got? Like, no disrespect, Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm talking about give me an all-star player on this roster. Don't worry, I'll wait because there's not one. So you got to dominate with this duo. Luka, some say top 5. I say top 10 player in the NBA right now. Kyrie, if you ask ESPN, they have that brother at 41. That's disrespectful. He should at least be an honorable mention for the NBA All-Stars. Like which, by the way, is All-Stars is like, 1 through 24. So he's got to be in the 30, like 30 on up. That's what Kyrie is, worst case. And that's what you got to pair with for this squad. So, I mean, if you hear rankings, I could talk about other teams that might have higher quote-unquote ranking. But this duo can get a bucket. They can play make, and they need other players to play their role, which also is a storyline. What are the other players' roles? Because I am curious. They got some solid young stars or some young players on their team that complement and kind of cross over into what Kyrie and Luka do. And when I say complement, I mean defensively they complement, but offensively they can also shoot and score as well. So I'm curious what everyone's role going to be and how well the development of those roles are going to. So again, that's the storyline. You might not think that's that entertaining, but we're going to see Luka Doncic all the time unless he's injured. We're going to see Kyrie Irving all the time unless he's injured. You don't think that's going to be entertaining to watch? And we've already seen the Dallas Mavericks get to the Western Conference Finals before. It's a possibility, long shot, but possibility. So that's why I say it's entertaining. But we got to talk about now the team that put the Dallas Mavericks out, at least, the Warriors, because they do have a title window. They do. But you got to ask, well, who's going to help Steph Curry out to achieve that title window? And not only that, but how much does Steph Curry actually have left in the tank? Because brother is getting a little older now. But I mean, everyone else is too, and he seems to be in pretty decent shape. But that title warrior or that title window that the Warriors have, when I say who's going to help out Steph, well, you do have Andrew Wiggins back now. You have CP3. Hopefully, Klay Thompson can prove to us that last year wasn't him losing a step. Like, hopefully Draymond Green can turn the page and prove that his contract is worth it. Like, you need somebody to showcase and step up. But we also got other players like Jonathan Kuminga as well. So I do think this Warriors team has a talented title shot at winning this year. So if you want to put money on them, that's not bad. But it's got to start with Steph Curry dominating. At least like around 30 points a game. Unless somebody want to step up, but like 30 points a game, like 28 to 30 points a game, I got to see nothing less from Steph Curry. That's what this team brings me. Unless CP3 want to score a little more. But again, he just came off last season where I was hurting because CP3 didn't want to put down 10 points a game, it seemed like. So CP3, this is your last title window, I'm assuming. Or I guess depending on what team you go to next, right? You gotta step up, but not step up too much. I don't need you being a starter. That's a role for Steve Kerr, though. That's a question for Steve Kerr. I need you to make sure these players get into their spots, mask their shortcomings, and you're in an open floor space. Like the system that you have is going to be wonderful. So I expect you to dice up any defense, score the way you want to, pass the way you want to. But CP3, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, those are the 3 people I'm looking at this season to help out Steph Curry and the Warriors with this title shot window. Because those 3 don't really do anything the way I'm expecting. I don't know what are we doing here? So that's why I say those are my entertaining stories, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't agree, that's cool. You can tell me your stories as well, and we can see if they need to change. But you can stay tuned because we have the top ones coming up very soon. These are my top storylines, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be focusing on all of these all year long. Honorable mentions, I'll give a little, I'll give a little sham too. The entertaining ones, I might try to make it a little funny. And then the top focus, well, I'm gonna be focused, lasered in on them bad boys. But if y'all got any other stories that y'all think I should be following or that I should be paying attention to, please let me know. But also, please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. Hope you all are having a good one. Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I gotta go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. We get buckets around here, kid.